What's good, everybody? Welcome to Mo on the Mic. He is I and I am him, and this is a very, very special inauguration episode of this new thing I will be doing, hopefully a few times a week. Maybe we can scale it up a little bit larger than that, but I do still have a 9 to 5, so this is what I will be doing from here on out, maybe a few times a week. I just want to say welcome to everybody. I want to say thank you for everybody that even decided to click this very first video of this journey and decide to ultimately take this journey with me. I've been wanting to do this for so long. As many of you people that probably know me know that I played collegiate sports. I played basketball. I love sports. I'm a big sports head, and this is just a way that I want to stay connected to the game. I don't play anymore. I work full time, but my love for the game will never go away. And this is a way for me to still feel that connection to the game, even though I'm retired and I probably would pull a hamstring if I went out there and tried to play right now. But yeah, this is what I'll be. This is the setup, we have so far. It's just me and a mic. I got my laptop here. And I just wanted to take the time to just kind of talk about what the show will be. I have a lot of friends that play both football and basketball collegiately, a couple professional basketball friends, a couple people that took it further and even started coaching at the high school and collegiate level. I'm just here to give people an insight on any type of sports, whether it's swimming, whether it's tennis, whether it's basketball, football. It all takes the same grit and grind to get where you want in both sports and life. And that's something that I took away from sports my entire life. I always wanted to use sports as a vessel to take me to where I need to go and not let the game just use me up and toss me aside when I was finished, So I'm going to be interviewing these people. I'm going to have them on my show as guests. They will be giving their insights, their tips and tricks on how they got to where they got, because they're awesome. And if I've already sent out an invite to you to be on the show, just know that I think you're an amazing athlete and even a more amazing person. So with that being said, yeah, this is the show, man. I know it's a bit rough right now, but hey, got to start somewhere. I have no guest today, so we are just talking pure sports today. If you're a sports head, you should love these conversations. So starting off with the very first topic, we have the Kansas City Chiefs falling to the Philadelphia Eagles in this year's Super Bowl. And I've seen a lot of people giving Patrick Mahomes a lot of crap online about him losing the Super Bowl. While it isn't, great for his legacy, obviously. I mean, Brady lost, two of the first 5 Super Bowls as well. I think they're both 3-2 in their first 5 Super Bowls. Granted, I think Brady only lost all Super Bowls that he's lost, I think 3, by a combined 12 points, and Mahomes has lost, it's like minus 40 in his 2 Super Bowl losses. But you can't blame him. I mean, he gets there every year. It's the Kansas City Invitational at this point, and who cares? If he loses by, if he goes 7-3 in his tenured in the NFL, in the playoffs, in Super Bowl, it doesn't matter if he loses by a combined 150 points. If he ends up getting those 7 championships, he is going to be considered the GOAT. I think more talented than Brady. He has a better arm. He can do more things on the field with, his God-given abilities. I think Brady was maybe a little bit more technical than him. Could read coverages a lot better, get guys in better positions. But that's just because Brady didn't even have the natural talent ever. He made himself the greatest. He willed himself. And you have a guy like Patrick Mahomes who just has all the talent in the world, much like a LeBron James, Michael Jordan comparison. Jordan was very talented, but I don't think a lot of people expected him to be the greatest player of all time. LeBron James, you knew he was going to be he's my GOAT, but he's going to be a top 3 player all time. They gave him that expectation at 14, 16, they gave it to him. But yeah, I want to dive into some of these stats. I got to put my glasses on because I am kind of blind. You have Patrick Mahomes. He went 21 of 32 passing the ball for 257 yards. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I stopped watching at halftime. I'm not going to lie. Once Patrick Mahomes threw that pick 6, I kind of knew it was over. You could feel the energy. There was some energy in the building with the Eagles that day. They just seemed more locked in. Plus, a three-peat has never been done. So the Kansas City Chiefs would have had to elevate their play to a level no other team has ever done. Yeah, it just wasn't a pretty game. I cut it off at halftime. Once the second half started, and I saw Kansas City trying to make a little bit of a comeback, it was a little bit stat patty for me. So I didn't want to do that. I want to give a big, big, big shout out to Jalen Hurts, though. He proved a lot, pretty much all the doubters wrong. I loved that commercial that he aired with Jordan after, saying that he couldn't throw the ball or that he's a running back or all the nonsense that they try to say about guys that don't have 5,000 plus yard passing seasons. Jalen Hurts, you are a great quarterback. You are a top 3 quarterback in this league as far as I'm concerned. The only 2 guys ahead of you are Patrick Mahomes and maybe Lamar Jackson, depending on what time of year you catch him in, because he can't seem to win a playoff game. Jalen Hurts went out there and was 17 of 22 for 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He played extremely well. That's how Jalen Hurts plays. You will rarely see him throw for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's just not the way he plays. That's not the way the Eagles play. That's not the way they want to play. They have pieces and weapons. Yes, they have A.J. Brown. Yes, they have Devontae Smith. They have those threats, but the Eagles are going to beat you down. They have Saquon Barkley. He didn't have a great game, but they have Saquon Barkley. They have Jalen Hurts. They have these probably the best offensive line that I've ever seen in my 25 years of living. Just get it done. They just manhandle you and they beat you down. And once the Kansas City Chiefs got down by more than 2 touchdowns, I already knew it was going to be a headache to try to come back because the Eagles play that way. If they have the lead, they can just simply run the ball down your throat, whether you pick up Saquon or you decide to pick up Jalen Hurts. They're going to get at least a couple yards each player, and they're going to be able to run that clock down. That's why it's so dangerous to fall behind to a team like this, especially in the playoffs. Big shout out to, always got to pay my respects to Andy Reid, one of the greatest coaches of all time. I don't think he should be in the Bill Belichick conversations, but that's for, another day. I think Bill Belichick is in a league of his own. 8 championships speaks for itself. I do also want to give a big shout out to Nick Sirianni, the Eagles head coach, because he was on the hot seat all year long. When they started out 2-2, pretty much like the Jets, they wanted to have him fired. He went from, being the most hated man in Philly to probably the most beloved man in Philly overnight. People were calling for his job at the beginning of the season when they didn't look too great, but he held things down. He took the scrutiny and he smiled through it all. I personally wouldn't talk trash to the fans that, come and spend their hard-earned money and support your team, but that's neither here nor there. He got them a championship and he's a championship coach, and you can't really say nothing else, about that man. Maybe in a few years, if they go back to, looking like how they did when they were 2-2, maybe you could say something, but for the time being, nobody should have anything negative to say about Nick Sirianni because he did his job and he led this team to a Super Bowl, and that has only been done twice in this organization's history. So as far as I'm concerned, he's a top 2 coach. He's a top 2 coach to ever, represent the Philadelphia Eagles. I also think Nick Sirianni played Division III football, if I'm being correct. So his story is just amazing. He's a great football mind, and that just goes to show you that you can find great football at all levels. You can find great football minds wherever. My uncle's a great football mind. He never coached or anything, but they're great football minds. And if you can hone in on that and put the dedication behind, you can do anything. And that goes for football, that goes for life, that goes for work, that goes for relationships, that goes for everything. So yeah, man, this was a great game. I know a lot of people didn't really like the whole Super Bowl as a whole. They didn't like the game. They didn't like the halftime show. But I thought it was okay. Like I said, I cut it off at halftime, so maybe the second half was way worse, but I just kept up with it on my phone. I didn't want to see a blowout. Got tired of seeing that with, Texas Christian, TCU going to the college football playoff championship. What was it, 2 years ago? I don't want to see a blowout. in a championship game. Speaking of Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance, he's getting a lot of, scrutiny for his performance. They say he had some type of symbolism. Once again, I did not watch the halftime show. I knew he was going to do that Not Like Us song talking about Drake. While it is a smash record, I just didn't think it represent hip hop, a piece of black culture in the, greatest light. Calling another man, what he called him during that song. But hey, hip hop is a combative sport. And if you called out that man and he took it there and you took it further and he took it the furthest, then hey, there's nothing you can do about that. I don't really follow the rap beef. I'm not too into hip hop. I'm not too into music. I listen to what I like, and whatever comes my way comes my way. But yeah, I don't really see why people would have an issue with this halftime performance. Kendrick Lamar's a great artist. He has a couple good songs. Not really sure what his lineup was, but from what I'm seeing online, it looks like he just performed the stuff off his new album. I know he's probably trying to promote that still. And then he performed the smash record that got him the opportunity in the first place. So I don't know how you can hate that. There's been some pretty god-awful, boring halftime performances before. This is not the worst. And it certainly won't be, the worst here for the next couple of years. I'm sure somebody's always going to have something to complain about. So whether you love this or hate this, next year you might hate it and the same person might love it, So I would just take it for what it is. At the end of the day, we were all watching a football game and we were all able to witness this sporting event with no tragedies, as fortunate as that is. Unfortunately, that it's fortunate that we get to watch a sporting event with no tragedies nowadays. I would just enjoy, so what if you didn't like the game? Keep your opinions to yourself. It's not that big a deal. The world kept on spinning after, just like it did for Drake. And I'm pretty sure he hated the halftime show the most out of everybody in the entire planet. I mean, you get a song calling you, what it called you in front of the whole United States. So, yeah, just the world kept on spinning, man. I didn't really watch I didn't watch the halftime, show. So, yeah. The topic that I'm really looking forward to talking about is that Los Angeles Lakers game that happened last night, or I guess what's today, the 11th. So what happened on the 10th, whenever this decides to come out, whenever I can edit it. I edit it myself. So whenever I get this out, Luka Doncic made his debut for the Los Angeles Lakers. And before I say anything, I will just say it feels really weird to see Luka Doncic in a Lakers jersey. It felt like I was in like some type of, Black Mirror episode or when in 2K, when you've beaten the game and you got to go and you're like 10 seasons in and they just start doing random trades and generating players and stuff. It looked really weird to see Luka Doncic in a Lakers jersey. I don't know why. I know it'll probably grow on me, but as of now, seeing him play on the court with LeBron was something I did not have on my bingo card for 2025 or this NBA season in general. With that being said, do I think that this will work out for the Los Angeles Lakers? Absolutely not. I do not think that this combination of players will work out at all. It looked rough last night at some points. I know they were up big on the Utah Jazz, but the Jazz are the Jazz. You're going to have to beat teams like the Denver Nuggets, who's been their kryptonite. You're going to have to beat teams like the Thunder, like the Grizzlies, the Suns. I'm a Suns fan. I know we aren't doing the greatest right now, but we still have Kevin freaking Durant on our team. So if you meet in the playoffs, you gotta show up and you gotta play. And I just think the way that they looked last night, hopefully, I hope I'm wrong because I think LeBron's the GOAT, and I would love to see him get ring number 5 to brag to my dad about. But yeah, the way this team's constructed, it just doesn't look very good in the long run. It doesn't look very good. I think the Lakers are a year away. Maybe they make some moves in the summer, but Jackson Hayes as your starting center is not going to get it done. And I love Jackson Hayes. I think he's a poor man's Derek Lively. I know Luka was kind of probably living through him, thinking he's Derek Lively last night. But yeah, Jackson Hayes isn't going to get it done. While I do think Austin Reeves is a great player, I think maybe trading for him in the summer to get a few more better defensive pieces would be better. Austin Reeves is an okay defender. He's not the best defender. You got Dorian Finney-Smith already, but he isn't the greatest offensive player. So you got to find a good balance. And I think two-way players are the way to go. If you look at the Boston Celtics, they're pretty much all two-way players. Drew Holiday is two-way. Derek White, two-way. Jaylen Brown, two-way. Jason Tatum, two-way. And Porzingis is the two-way. They have five bona fide two-way players that are great on both sides of the ball. And then they have guys like Peyton Pritchard, and Sam Hauser that can come off the bench and just light it up. I don't think the Lakers have enough shooting. I don't think they have enough defense to get anything done this year. That's all I'm saying is this year. Rob Pelinka, hopefully he makes some moves for Laker Nation. I'm not Laker Nation. I'm actually anti-Laker Nation, but I'm pro-LeBron. So, if I got to sit back and watch the Lakers be good and watch my king get another ring, I'll suck it up and do so. I want to dive into these stats. LeBron James went out there and put up 24 points. He was 10 of 17 from the field, 3 of 7 from the three-point range. LeBron James has been on a freaking heater lately. He is defying Father Time. He is destroying Father Time. He just had 40 a few games ago. Turns around and drops 24. He's plus 24 from the field. I know he has 7 turnovers and 8 assists, but he's not perfect. And and you'll notice as I continue to make these, I do cape for LeBron a lot, but plus 24 is fine by me. Rui Hachimura had 21 points, Jackson Hayes 12 points, Austin Reeves 22, and Luka Doncic had 14. All starters were at least plus 10. That's great. That's what you want to see as a Lakers fan. And then you had Dorian Finney-Smith coming off the bench. He was plus 13. Gabe Vincent was plus 17, and he scored 10. That's a rarity. Ever since Gabe Vincent got to LA, it seems like he kind of forgot how to hoop, but I love to see that he is feeling good, at least with Luka Doncic on the court with him, maybe taking some attention off of him. But yeah, I think the Los Angeles Lakers are in a pretty good spot. I do think they won the trade with the Dallas Mavericks. They're just a few pieces away. Excuse me. They're a few pieces away for sure. They need some defense. They need some shooting. They need I think JJ Redick is doing a great job coaching this team. I don't think they need to fire him anytime soon. Yeah, and LeBron James doesn't look like he's slowing down at all. So continue to build around him, and when it's time to, for him to go, you got Luka Doncic. So you can't really lose in this situation. But yeah, those are the topics that I had today. I hope you guys really enjoyed this very first episode of Mo on the Mic, and I hope you continue to join me in this journey. I will have all different types of content for you guys. This is something I'm very passionate about. So if you will do me the due diligence and please hit the subscribe button or like button wherever you're seeing this at. And yeah, just follow me for this journey, man. And let's get it. See you guys next episode.